Last trading session. During the latest trading session, silver started trading near recent highs, with prices drifting mostly sideways early on. Market activity showed some small ups and downs, with prices relatively stable at first. As trading progressed, there was a significant and sudden drop, with silver moving sharply lower and breaking through previous support levels. This sell-off was accompanied by an increase in volatility, as measured by the wider range between the day's high and low. After the steep fall, prices stabilized a bit but remained under pressure for the rest of the session, with little sign of a strong recovery. Indicators like the Relative Strength Index, RSI, dropped into oversold territory during the decline, signaling that the fall was severe and swift. Through the closing period, prices held at the lower end of the session's range, showing that buyers were hesitant to step back in strongly. Weekly trends. Looking at trends over the past week, silver was experiencing a moderate uptrend at the start, with steady increases and indicators hinting at positive momentum. However, later in the week, this trend reversed sharply as the price fell dramatically, erasing previous gains and shifting to a clear downward movement. Key technical measures, such as the short-term and long-term averages, began to show increasing weakness after the decline, pointing to possible ongoing bearish sentiment. Support that had previously held around the lower price levels was broken decisively, and no strong resistance to further drops appeared immediately after the sell-off. Momentum indicators and average movement measures signaled strong selling pressure and suggested that the trend had moved from upward or sideways to clearly downward by the end of the week. Risk assessment. Volatility increased sharply in the most recent session, and the measure of how much prices fluctuate showed values substantially above average during the sell-off. The quick and steep decline suggests that silver remains at risk for further sudden price moves, particularly as recent support levels failed to hold. Current market strength, as measured by movement indicators, is at a high level, meaning that the current trend could stay strong, whether continuing downward or reversing unexpectedly. While previous risk measures, such as the Sharpe ratio and the relationship with the overall market, were moderate, the latest session's events point to higher short-term risk and caution for anyone considering entry or exit. Summary. Combining all of these points, silver's current outlook is bearish in the short term, with strong downward momentum following the recent sharp fall. The abrupt shift from a stable or slightly positive trend to a steep decline indicates that the market is unsettled and prices could remain under pressure. Short-term momentum remains negative, and the lack of a strong recovery after the fall suggests that buyers are not yet willing to push prices higher. Overall, the situation warrants caution, as the likelihood of further drops or continued volatility remains heightened in the near future.